Well, it's a story everyone's been talking about all Memorial Day weekend. A huge controversy growing over the deadly shooting of a gorilla at the Cincinnati Zoo. The nearly 450-pound gorilla shot by zoo workers when a 4-year-old boy fell into the gorilla habitat. Look at this. Harambe the gorilla towering over a 4-year-old boy. The boy fell into the gorilla's home at the Cincinnati Zoo. This amateur video shows Harambe charging through the moat, carrying the 4-year-old child with him. Moments later, the gorilla dragging the 4-year-old further into the exhibit.
This child was being dragged around. His head was banging on concrete. This was not a gentle thing. The child was at risk. We're very fortunate that he's okay.
Within moments, the zoo making the difficult decision to kill Harambe in order to save the child.
Naturally, we did not take the shooting of Harambe lightly, but that child's life was in danger.
Now, some say the shooting was justified because the gorilla could have easily killed that child, but others are furious over the shooting of the gorilla, and some people even calling for the parents of the child to be punished. So did the zoo make the right decision? Director Emeritus of the Columbus Zoo, Jack Hanna, goes on the record. Good evening, Jack. Always nice to see you.
Nice seeing you again, Greta. Nice to see you.
Jack, you're my go-to guy on all these issues involving animals, so tell me, did the Cincinnati Zoo do the right thing?
Greta, they did the right thing. This is a no-win situation for anybody. But have a home in Rwanda, 2 miles from mountain gorillas for the last 20 years, having had the Columbus Zoo here since I've been here 30-something years, and having the first gorilla ever born in the world here, the only two twin gorillas born here, the only one in the world. Obviously, I'm familiar with the gorillas in this setting of a zoo and also in the wild. I can tell you this, Greta, when I saw the animal just jerking right now and taking that child through the water like that, I have seen big silverbacks in the wild and in zoos. One thing would happen, Greta, I guarantee you this. If they had waited for the tranquilizer, which people are saying, that dart would have popped in that big old gorilla. That gorilla would think this little thing here is doing it. I mean, I'm just trying to think gorilla style now. That child would not even be here. They could take a coconut, Greta, a green coconut, and smash it like this, like a marshmallow. The power is beyond comprehension. There was no other decision to make, Greta. It's a terrible thing, but it had to happen.
How about the design of the zoo itself? I mean, how is it that a child can get under a fence and even have this happen?
Greta, that had been there 35 or 40 years, whatever it is. The zoo is one of the oldest in the country. I have grandkids and kids. We all, as grandkids, or grandmother, grandfather, whatever, or father, we have a responsibility for our children. I'm not going to blame the lady. I wasn't even there, by the way. I'm just saying, we can take this place right here. We have a fence behind me, right? Behind me now are giraffe, lions over here, all kinds of stuff. We all know that this could happen at a play park. This could happen at a water park. It could happen at a baseball, whatever. The point is, we have these things here to tell us to stand here. Parents are with their children. Things happen. It's happened to me with my children. I'm just telling you, we can't get much safer than what we are. Safety is our #1 goal, Greta, for our employees, our visitors, our animals. We practice safety more than anything else in the zoo world. And we do the best we can. As a matter of fact, Greta, people don't know this. This zoo here is giving millions of dollars to the gorillas in the wild. The zoo world, the 221 zoos and aquariums in this country have given tens of millions of dollars to the gorillas over the years. Millions of it. Right now, if it wasn't for the zoological park, the mountain gorillas wouldn't even be here right now. There's only 700 in the world, 900. The lowland gorilla, people keep talking about this animal going extinct tomorrow. That is untrue. There are over about 200,000 lowland gorillas. And that doesn't mean they're not going to go extinct. They're not going to go extinct, I guarantee you. I've watched how things have gotten better over there. But right now, people say, oh, this is the most endangered animal, with this one gone. It's a terrible thing this one's gone, no doubt about that. But people have to realize this is a human being in this thing. I can tell you, Greta, because people are now saying, well, those other 2 gorillas, they were female. The one was a female at the zoo in Brookfield. That gorilla was hand-raised here at this zoo, by the way, because the mother wasn't taking care of it. So we put it on a breeding loan up there. Of course, she held the baby and someone got it. By the way, both of these kids that the gorillas had were unconscious. This child was conscious, screaming. What would you, Greta, if you're in a big old silverback there, all the family goes inside the building. He's standing there like this with this thing in the moat. This thing is screaming. People are screaming. This big old silverback is really, he's riled up. I could tell, gorilla. I've worked with these gorillas so long. No telling what would have happened if he'd been popped with that dart, which they would have to do to tranquilize it. That takes 5 to 10 minutes. That gorilla is going to go like this. He's going to go like this. He's not going to know where he is. He knows that maybe this little thing gave him the dart. What do you think would have happened, Greta? What would have happened would have been something you wouldn't want to witness.
Indeed. Is this a good time for all of us, though, to think to sort of relook at the design of zoos and see, you know, the fencing and the separation between the people going to the zoos and the animals?
Greta, it's almost like saying, well, if you're standing there in whatever, New York City, Washington, Columbus, Ohio, whatever, with your child getting ready to cross the street, and, you know, do we move the streets over? Greta, we do everything here. We can't do any more than what we're doing, other than building a wall around all the animals and why I have the zoological park. People are always saying, well, we love the gorillas. Why did this have to happen? Why do they love the gorillas, Greta? Because they see them in zoological parks. They sure don't see them in the wild. So you see here, we can't do much more than we do. We can't do much more than what we do.
Well, Jack, I tell you is that I love the Columbus Zoo. I've been there many times with you, and I mean it's just extraordinary. You know, it's wonderful to go to zoos. Families love zoos, so this is, you know, obviously very sad for everybody. But the child is safe, and that's what matters at this point. That's the good news. Very good. Jack, thank you, and I hope to come to the Columbus Zoo soon.
We'll see you soon. Thanks, Greta.